Hello, my name is Sunmi Kim. This study investigated the maternal law and social mobility effects of Primipara. Since I am not influenced in English, I will proceed by reading the translate part. Korean fertility rate is 1.17 in 1960, 1.15 in 2017, and 0.98 in 2018, which has declined rapidly in the last 3 years. And this is the country with the worst fertility rate among OECD countries. Period of childbirth is one of the most dynamic period of the woman's entire life cycle, and after childbirth, difficulty arise due to physical change, psychological change, and responsibility for raising children. When women perceive the parenting process positively, their confidence and satisfaction are strengthened, and because they feel satisfied with their maternal law, they have a positive effect on pregnancy and childbirth in the future, which can help to solve the problem of lower birth rates. Maternal adaptation is the concept encompassing various adaptations in the psychological, relation, behavior, and cognition dimension of the mother, and can be classified into female self-awareness and maternal law awareness. First, both mothers spend time with their child for 1 year after childbirth and have communication with their child due to lack or sleep, control fatigue, and depending on behavior of their children, they experience tension and pleasure. Maternal law tension refer to difficult experience when playing a role as a mother, an expectation or a role played by an individual, and stress that a mother feels during a difficult process in parenting. Parenting stress is a constant and daily stress in the process of raising children. Low tension can be said to be a state of tension that appear after a sudden law change. Since the maternal law tension experienced by a firstborn mother is limited for an individual to be solved, the psychological stability of the firstborn mother can be expected. Effective help from surrounding people is provided for personal information, maternal and emotional support. In previous study on maternal adaptation, such as maternal law confidence, maternal law satisfaction, maternal self-esteem, and maternal identity, research focus on mother inner elements and parenting stress, more attachment, more interaction, breastfeeding behavior, etc. In the case of a firstborn mother, since childbirth is a time when the role of motherhood is added to woman, and at the same time, the role of motherhood, such as knowledge of care and parenting skills, is establishing the factors that can control the intention in self-awareness and maternal law recognition as a woman are considered. If identified, it can have a positive effect on maternal adaptation. This study aimed to identify the moderating effect of social support in the relationship between maternal lower tension and maternal adaptation in first mother and provides them as basic data, providing intervention studies to provide maternal adaptation in first birth mother. Research purpose. The purpose of this study is to find out the moderating effect of social support in the relationship between maternal lower tension and maternal adaptation in prenatal mother. The specific purpose is as follows: identify the identification difference in maternal adaptation according to the general characteristic of the subject, identify the relationship between maternal lower tension, maternal adaptation, and social support, identify the moderating effect of social support in the relationship between maternal lower tension and maternal adaptation. Method. This study is a descriptive research study to confirm the moderating effects of social support in the relationship between maternal lower tension and maternal adaptation in parental mothers. This study was performed on first mother who visited pediatrics, obstetrics, and gynecology hospital and public health center location in S city and J province. The criteria for select of subject in this study were first-born mother with 6 months of after give birth as a normal infant, at least 37 weeks of pregnancy, 200,000 to 500 grams of newborn baby weight, and no disease, and were selected as subject who understood the purpose of this study. Total calculated the number of samples required for this study. The G-power 3.1.4 program was used to determine the apparent number of sample size required for regression analysis was calculated as a minimum sample number of 246 people, but considering the fear of dropout, the questionnaire was distributed to 280 people, and a total of 250 data were analyzed, excluding the data of 30 insufficient response. This is a question model 2. This is a tool. Excuse me. Research tools. Generate the characteristic maternal lower tension, social support, maternal adoption, number of questions, general character 9 questions, maternal lower tension 20 questions, social support 25 questions, maternal adaptation 45 questions. Research subject. The research director select the subject included in the select criteria, provide an explanation of purpose and method of the study, and provide an online link to firstborn mother who voluntarily agree participate in the study, and then provide the data. The data analysis. This analysis is follow. The data collected in this study is SPSS version 22 program and process macro for SPSS version statistical analysis was performed using 3.4 result As for general characteristics of the subject of this study, most of the subjects were in their 30, and most of the subjects were university graduates. Measure of a subject had planned pregnancy, while 147 subjects participating in the parental education program during pregnancy. 147 subjects said they did not experience postpartum depression after children's birth. Regarding infant feeding method, 98 subjects using milk powder, 85 subjects using mixed lactation, and 67 subjects breastfeeding their babies. Majority of the mother administered infant formula to their babies. In addition, 166 subjects did not have an help to care for their children. Table 2. Difficulty in maternal adoption by general characteristics. The female self-recognition areas that were found to be satisfactorily significant were participation in prenatal education program during pregnancy, feeding method, and the presence of absence of someone who helped care for children. It was found out that first-time mothers who participated in the parental education program during pregnancy and the first-time mother who did not have a children caregiver have a first level of female self-recognition. Moreover, according to the result of the Shepherd post-test, on location method, female self-recognition are as rate high in the order of milk power, mixed lactation, and breastfeeding. It was found out that maternal role recognition was high in first-time mother who participated in parental education program during pregnancy. There was no significant difference in maternal education according to other general characteristics. Table 3. Correlation among variables. The correlation between female self-awareness, maternal role awareness, maternal role attention, and social support was analyzed with the following results: maternal role attention and social support, female general self-recognition, and maternal role recognition show negative correlation. Social support show positive correlation with female self-awareness and maternal role recognition. Female self-awareness show a positive correlation with maternal role recognition. Therefore, lower social support, lower female self-awareness, and lower maternal role awareness result to higher maternal role attention recognition was high. Table 4. Effects of social support on the relationship between maternal role strain and maternal adoption. The result of this study analysis to moderating affect social support in the relationship between maternal role attention and maternal adaptation using Hay process network program. According to a result of the analysis, the independently variable maternal role attention and the maternal role recognition among the two adoption variables show a significant negative effect. There was a significant positive effect in the action term. The maternal law recognition domain has reduced maternal law tension, but the interaction, the variable with the social support has a positive effect too. Opposing influence were from social support has been shown to a level or overlate the negative influence of maternal tension. The maternal self-recognition domain show a significant influence on the relationship with the maternal tension, but the influence of the interaction term of social support was not significant. There was no moderating effect of social support. Therefore, it was they determined that social support has a moderating effect in the relationship between moderating law tension and maternal law recognition area. Discussion. This study was an attempt to confirm the moderating effect of social support in the relationship of maternal law tension in primary mother to maternal adaptation. Maternal law tension had effect on female self-awareness and maternal law awareness, which are subdomain of maternal adaptation, and social support was identified as a moderating factor in the relationship between maternal law tension and maternal law awareness. The maternal law tension of a firstborn mother had a negative effect on female self-awareness, so when the maternal law tension was high, the female self-recognition decreased. Their result indicated that a study by Che that parenting stress caused by a sensitive mother reaction directly affect maternal identity, and a study of Kim and Kim that self-awareness decreased as you feel unbalanced and unhappy during pregnancy. The maternal law tension of a firstborn mother show a negative effect on the maternal law perception. And when the maternal law tension decreased, the maternal law perception of the first mother decreased. Their result supported the finding of Song and Go that mothers with a high parenting stress decreased the maternal law adaptation. Last, social support social support was found to mitigate the negative influence of maternal law tension of firstborn mothers on maternal law recognition. Their result support the finding of GO-ETAL postpartum mental education program that promoted mother mental health status and adaptation to the mother law social support act, psychosocial protective factor, and can reduce tension in maternal law situations that are unfamiliar to firstborn mother. And among social support system proposed had the most important meaning, the result that there was no moderating effect of social support in the relationship between the female self-recognition domain and maternal law tension of first mother, mean that social support does not strengthen or mitigate the influence of female identity to reduce law tension according to the law of motherhood. This supports the finding of Kim, which show that social support did not control the relationship between self-wisdom and law tension. Since the first mother had formed her ego as a woman throughout her life, it may be said that it is a similar part to find her ego again even after giving birth. Therefore, a concrete study on self-awareness as a woman is needed for mother. Conclusion: this study was conducted to confirm the moderating effect of social support in maternal lactation and maternal adaptation in the first mother. In the maternal lactation and maternal adaptation of mothers, social support was found to be a significant moderating variable in maternal role recognition among the sub-items of maternal adaptation. In order to provide the maternal role perception of first-born mother, the children care education program should include the emotional part of the caregiver and various support systems provided in the parenting process. In addition, it was confirmed that there is difficulty in female role cognition according to the feeding method due to the general characteristic of this study. It will be necessary to understand in detail what role the lactation method play in the relationship between the mother, female self-awareness, and method adaptation. Thank you. Bye.